Welcome back, traders. Today we're going to do our usual overview of the miners, and then I've got something extra special that diverts away from the usual and is a different type of trade than I'm usually talking about on this channel, but it's very interesting to me at this time. Anyways, let's take a look at Bitcoin. As you can see, Bitcoin did exactly what I said it was going to do, came down to the trend line. We're currently below that upward trend line, so it looks like we might actually fall a little further, especially since the here we're in this empty pocket right here that ends all the way down at about 37,000. And we might get caught around 38 or 39, but we're in an empty pocket of volume here, so we could fall pretty quickly down, meaning that that bear flag is going to be pretty dramatic. We might actually make it to the bottom of this pole down here at 38,000. Take a look at the miners. The miners are actually doing really well today, along with the majority of the market. The majority of the market is doing pretty good today. If we look on the hourly chart here, we came down to the bottom of the channel on Mara, which was around 1468, and we came back right up to this line, kissed this line at $17 and bounced off of it or rejected off of it. It does look like we could be making a head and shoulders move here, which might take us back to the top of the channel around 20 before going further down again. But I'm going to keep an eye on that. So it's kind of still in my range of buying, but I haven't decided yet. I'm waiting for it to come up and then come back down again. We'll see. There is a green arrow here, I mean a cross up of the 5 over the 15. I believe that's what that is, right? Yep, 5 over the 15, which is bullish in the short term, meaning I probably might see price come up and tap the 50 average up here around 19. It might be a little lower by the time it gets there, but we are currently squeezing on the Bollinger Band Keltner channel, so when that releases, it's going to be a pretty big move up or down. Let's take a look at CleanSpark. CleanSpark got right into my space here last week down at 642. It's working its way back up. Same thing here. We got a green triangle, which is short-term bullish on this chart, meaning we'll probably come up into this space up here around $7, $8 in the near future. Let's take a look at Bitfarms. Is also on the hourly chart. Bitfarms. Um, Not looking so good right now. Bitfarms actually, yeah, it came down under, hit pause. You'd think this was going to be a bull flag, and then it turned out to not be, and we got rejected. And it is pulling up right now. It's actually negative today, while its peers are positive. So it's not looking too good for Bitfarms right now. I think we'll probably come back to the bottom of the channel down here around 247. Cypher, this is regular. Cypher is doing a similar thing, kind of like Mara came down, tapped on the bottom of my line, so it came all the way to the bottom. Well, actually, this was the middle of a downward channel. Tapped the bottom of my line and it is rejecting there currently. Now, that could be more of a head and shoulders move, shoulder, head, shoulder forming over here, and then we come up back into this channel, this downward channel up here around $3 or so. Um, But keeping an eye on that. I did get a green arrow here, but we are overbought currently, so I'm just watching and waiting on Cypher. The warrants are doing pretty good, though. I think I'm up like 30 or 40% of my warrants that I bought back when they were 76 cents. Yeah, and now they're almost a dollar. I actually got over a dollar a little bit last week. Those are looking nice and strong here. We're kind of just slowly building up. You can see this is actually in a nice little upward channel here on the hourly. We're at the top of that channel, so it might come back down into the 80s again. We'll see. I might pick up some more in the 80s because either that or this is a really nasty bear flag and it's going to come down in another leg like a Elliott wave down into this channel down here possibly. So I'm going to wait. I'm not buying anything. I'm just watching, waiting right now. Um, but I am interested in what's going on here. Now, play, you can probably see it in the top right of the screen here. I am looking at Disney. I know this is a traditional stock. This is not crypto related at all, but I'm looking at Disney right now. There's a few reasons I'm looking at Disney. One is this chart looks great. This is a 30-minute chart right now. This looks fantastic. You just got stair stepping up. If we go to the daily, I think that also looks pretty good. Yeah, the daily is looking pretty good too. You've got the crossover of the 5 over the 15, then the 5 over the 50 with that little green flag there. I mean, it's looking very good. Nothing in the way of volume on the daily above us up until we get to 94, and it's very light resistance. We got a lot of support at 92, so not a lot of room to come down. I would like to see price come closer to this 5-day moving average at 93.50-ish before I want to get in, but I mean, I might not. I mean, 93.50 is 92.50. Sorry, 92.50. I misspoke before I get in, but I do see it being pretty bullish going forward. We broke out of this downward channel. We're kissing the bottom of this upward channel. There's green signs on my chart here. We are in a a Bollinger Band Keltner channel squeeze as indicated by these plus signs, and it looks like it's going to want to break to the upside. Now let's turn on the Bollinger Band actually and see where we are inside of it. Let's turn it on. It's this one. We're at the top of it, so I do want to wait on this, especially with this big wick on top on the daily. I do want to wait and see price come back down to the 5-day moving average. I would like to see that, so I haven't bought in on this yet, but I am looking at it. And the play on this is going to be for earnings. Earnings is on February 7th. I would be out of this play before February 7th because earnings I think are going to be bad. I think earnings are going to be bad. The reason I think earnings are going to be bad is because they reopened the Magic Key passes January 10th. Now, this is some good news here because it's sold out January 11th, the Magic Key passes. That's the yearly passes. They're very expensive. Anyways, they sold out in one day. That's very bullish for the stock in terms of people desire Disneyland, right? The other piece of news that they released very shortly after, just a week later, was the new hollow tile treadmill that they are debuting as a new technology that they want to use possibly for some sort of attractions or some sort of VR related thing. We don't know yet. We just know that they announced that they have patented this hollow tile technology, and it just came out just a few days later to keep that hype train rolling. And if you can look since January 10th, this January 10th, right here, let me get my box out. Right here, that is where, dang it, that is when the Magic Keys were reopened. Right here, January 10th. January 11th, had a green day. 12th, we had a green day. 16th, big green day. 17th, not so much. 19th, 20th, wait, 22nd. This is from today. This wasn't debuted today. This was debuted a different day. Let me get on YouTube, actually. So there's been a hype train of news for Disney. It started here on this day right here with this little box is January 10th. That's when the Magic Keys were re-released. Then we had 3 days of just awesome growth. Then we had a sell-off. The very next day, this is when the hollow tile was announced. Right here. Last Thursday. That's when the hollow tile was announced. And since then, we've just been seeing green, or blue in my case. Now let's get into a smaller chart. I think I showed it to you earlier. The 30-minute chart. The 30-minute chart is the 20 on top of the 50. Well, the 5 on top of the 20 on top of the 50. That is great. And it looks like we're stair-stepping up. I think price will probably come down to that 92.60, 92.75. I'm waiting for it to get into this little area right here. I'm waiting for price to get into this area right here before I am looking at some call options on Disney. Now, the theory here or the thesis here is that price is going to go up until earnings, then earnings will probably be bad and this price will come back down. That is what I am theorizing here. So I want to be in this for about a week, maybe till this Friday, maybe till next Tuesday at most, and then I'll be getting out of that position pretty quickly after that. Right now it is showing a little bit of weakness. I do want to see RSI do a retracement down to the 50 here. We got to 57. I'd like it to get a little bit lower before I'm in on the Disney play here. So I haven't started it yet, but I am looking at getting into that based on those two pieces of news with the Magic Key, the hollow tile, and earnings is coming up, but is not here yet. So it's more of a um, sell the news event when earnings does come around. That's what I'm looking at. Just like when the Bitcoin ETF dropped, it was a sell the news event. That's what I'm looking at right now with Disney. And I do think there's some money to be made there with it. So that is not a suggestion to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever. It's just what I'm thinking when I look at the Disney chart and the news flowing out for Disney at this time. And it's got me very interested in making a trade on their stock based on that information. So please like, comment, and subscribe, and have a profitable day.